Hi, everyone. Trey here with Student of the Leaf, and I actually have a really special guest with me today. We have Kenny New with Kaneux Hattak. And Kenny, would you actually like to tell us a little bit about your actual business?
Sure. So I have been to use a term that this show is a student of the leaf for quite some time, and I have smoked a variety of cigars for over 25 years, and was enjoying cigars. And I have a couple of businesses, and one of them, I was giving cigars out a lot, and so the reason Kaneux Hattak, or KHC as I like to call it, got started was because I was giving out so many cigars in my other business. So it was, how could I streamline that and control my cost, and then at the same time have a good product.
Okay.
And so a lot of the people I was giving cigars to was real simple. I was buying anything from an $8 to a $30 cigar, and some people didn't appreciate the value of some of the cigars. So I have several friends that are in the cigar world, and I said, well, what would it take for me to get into the cigar business? And thus started my journey for KHC. And I guess I studied it for about 5 years before I actually uh, bit the bullet and pulled the string to start the company 5 years ago. And the first two cigars I had are the Cajun and the Strata. The Strata is triple barber pole. What's what I'm smoking right now. And it's a Maduro, Habano, and Connecticut. And they're all made out of, they're all Nicaraguan cigars.
Okay.
And this cigar is great with a cup of coffee as well as a good bourbon. And so I'm having coffee with as it's a mid-afternoon, mid-morning cigar this morning.
So you're having coffee right now. You're not going to judge me too much because I'm actually enjoying a beverage that I made with a homebrew
Ah,
group.
okay.
Um,
Well, if I decide to, I have me some bourbon in the bourbon club I'm from. So I may switch gears after I drink my coffee. But the coffee, I drink black coffee,
mhm.
and the coffee with the Strata brings out the notes of the Strata like unbelievable.
Okay.
Doesn't mean you can't drink a good bourbon with it, or whiskey,
Yeah.
or wine even. But I love the Strata with a cup of coffee because I just think they pair very well, and it highlights the notes of the Strata.
So,
So
so, so the Strata itself, would you consider that to be like a medium body? Is there a lot of
it's
Ligero
a
or
mild to
pepper?
medium.
Okay.
It's a mild to medium. And one of the things I do that's a little different when I started my company was I created business cards for my two cigars. Or at the time I had two cigars, now I have three. And so in the card, I tell you where the leaves are from and what they are. So for example, there's a 6x54. So they're right at the edge of a Gordo size cigar.
Okay.
Um, and this is and when I created my triple barber pole, uh, I really wanted something that was a little different than a standard barber pole.
Okay.
That's why I came out with the Maduro, and it's a Scuro Maduro from Ecuador, and then Habano and Connecticut from Nicaragua and that region. And so I put a touch of Ligero in this. So it starts off medium, ramps up, and then levels off and then tails up at the end. So I call it a mild to medium cigar.
Okay.
So, it's not very strong in the beginning, but it finishes well to be a good medium cigar.
Yeah. So I know that we're talking about the Strata right out the gate.
Yeah,
So let's backtrack just a little bit and let's talk
sure.
about Kenny New and let's talk
Uh-oh.
about
Uh-oh.
let's talk
Now
about
we're meddling.
Canoe Hatak. So what made you decide on naming your company Canoe Hatak? Because that's a
So
unique name.
uh, it is a unique name. And the initials are KHC. And when I started my company, um, when I was a little fella, I had an uncle, a Cajun uncle, And Shy, he did talk that way, just like they you see on TV. And so he used to call me Kaneux, Kaneux. And he shortened it. It sounded almost like canoe, like the boat you would get into.
Yeah.
And so I've always gone through life as putting people in my boat of life as we travel through our
Oh,
journey
wow.
together. And so when I went to name my company, uh, Kaneux was taken already. The word Canoe was taken, so I couldn't use that. So I did a Cajun idea of my name, and it's called Kaneux, Keneux, with no
Ooh.
A, because an A would be bro, or be like go, or
Uh-huh.
whatever. So EUX, and it would be Kaneux. And so that came from my uncle calling me Kaneux when I was a little boy, and it stuck with me my whole life. And then Hattak is Native American for man. And so it's like new man, my name, Kenny New, Kaneux Man, new man, cigars. And so that's where the name came from, KHC, Kaneux Hattak Cigars.
I like that. That is, and like you said, so in a canoe, people getting in your canoe in
That's
your
it.
journey down this path of the cigar culture itself. That's
Yeah.
pretty
Well,
deep.
it is. It's really true. My and in fact, if you see on my card, there is that's me fishing in a boat in the swamps of Louisiana. So I literally was raised in the bayous and on the Mississippi River,
Okay.
and fishing and going out in what we call a pirogue in South Louisiana, which is similar to a canoe, in the Mississippi River as a little boy. And sometimes I felt like Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn, just having a great time. Wasn't a raft, but it was a little boat, and playing in the bayous and all that. So that's where Kaneux Hattak and the canoe are going in the boat of life, going down the river of life together.
Yes, that's
That journey.
awesome. So you came up with this idea um, because you enjoy cigars. How did you first start getting into cigars and enjoying it? And did you enjoy the cigars before you met the culture itself, or was it the culture that brought you into cigars?
Wow, that's a great question. When I first got into cigars, uh, it was more of a little thing to do. It wasn't like uh, I was smoking one a month or two a month, and then slowly progressed. And I ended up, we had a job uh, after Katrina, which everybody knows about. We had a lot of devastation. We were doing emergency response work on that. And I started smoking a cigar a day minimum on that job to help bring me calm down so I wouldn't bite somebody's head off.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was a little intense. And so um, started drinking uh, a little more bourbon and a couple more cigars. And I really got into the flavors. And when I first started my cigar journey, I was a smorgasbord guy. I would go and get 5 of this and 5 of that and 5. I wouldn't just buy one box. I would go and smoke. If you look at my personal stash, uh, I have literally thousands of cigars in my personal stash of many different brands,
Yeah,
those that you know and those that you don't know. And so I love the flavor of the cigars, and how they help me just chill and relax. And then I got into the culture, um, and the culture is just wonderful. I get to meet people like you, Trey, that I would have never met. And I have friends from all walks of life all over the country, and in fact, in some cases internationally. And it's been a wonderful experience to meet people, different political views, different financial views, different uh, ideas on how to make money or how to keep
mhm,
money or whatever. So yeah, it's been a great journey, and I love the people because we're about the cigars and not about those other things that make people divide. This helps us
correct.
come together.
I'm glad to hear you actually say that, because just in my journey of doing interviews with people across the spectrum, that's one thing that we can all agree on, is that the cigar itself is the great equalizer. Even if, like you said, we don't have anything else in common, um, that stick itself can bring us together
Oh
and
yeah,
open up so
that's
many
right.
doors in dialogue, and we've come to find out that we have more in common than we have uncommon. Now, with your line of sticks, I know we talked about the Strata a lot. I know that you have the Cajun. Do you want to talk
Right.
about each one of those sticks?
Sure, sure. And so um, the Cajun and the Strata were my first two cigars. Um, and so it is again, a 5-year age cigar, just like the Strata. The Strata is a 5-year age cigar. So it's a premium cigar.
Mhm.
And my tagline for my whole cigar line is a, uh, a premium cigar at a working man's price. So
Okay.
that people of all walks of life, you don't have to spend 35 bucks to get a 5-year age cigar with
Mhm.
my line. And so the Cajun, again, is a 5-year age Oscuro Maduro. It's a medium to bold cigar. And again, it starts off medium, then ramps up to full body, and then tails up, and it's got double Lajero in it. So it's got a little more spice at the end, and it just has that good flavor throughout. Pairs great with an adult beverage.
Mhm.
Um, I do it all the time. And so that was my first, and this is my preferred cigar. I did this one from my palate.
Okay.
The other cigars I have, such as the Strata, I did for a lot of other people's palate that didn't like as a full body of a cigar. The third cigar I have is, I had a lot of people asking me if I can make the triple barber pole in a smaller cigar. Well, I got with my factory folks and I couldn't. They were not willing to do the triple barber pole on a smaller cigar. It is a it the master roller had to do it, and when you're rolling three that tight, and it was very difficult. So we did a collaboration, and we came out with the Eye of the Tiger, which is a
Hmm.
little different. It's a Perfecto style, and it's a 4-year age cigar, and it has the three tobaccos, no Lajero, but it's got a lot more Connecticut and Habano and a lot less Maduro in it.
Hmm.
So came out with this 4 years ago, a year after my Strata and Cajun, a year and a half after. So it's 3.5 years old. And it's also a very great smoke. But I did a collaboration with the factory on, okay, I want to do this. And they helped me with some ideas on coming up with that. The first two were, I would call them my brain children, that I actually thought of how I wanted it
Hmm.
laid out, how I wanted it to ramp up and finish and all that good stuff.
So I've actually had the pleasure in the past. I want to say it was like a year or two. I've actually smoked each one of your sticks, and I was highly impressed. First and foremost, um, I'm a little bit taken back at myself for not actually doing an interview sooner than right now. But everything happens for a reason, and I want to say that I'm
It
in a better
does.
space to actually give you a good, proper video and interview. Now, I will say that one lucky viewer, whoever makes a comment on this video and stuff like that, who's actually following Kenny New on Instagram. Are you on Instagram?
I am. I don't, quite honestly, I don't do a lot on Instagram.
Okay.
Uh, Again, I have a couple other ventures that take a lot of my time.
Yes.
And so when I get to retire, I hope to be able to put a lot more time into this venture.
Yes.
But the other ventures are very time demanding. And so I do some on Instagram, but not a lot.
So whoever is following Kenny New on Instagram, whoever's following Student of Belief, whoever makes a comment on this video itself will be put into a drawing to get a couple of your
Oh,
cigars. I'm actually going to give them a
awesome.
taste of your cigars.
Wonderful.
So,
Wonderful.
I will say once again, I'm very, very much impressed. The Eye of the Tiger, I was a little bit taken back by that one. I was kind of conflicted, and the reason
Okay.
is, it really lends itself to the LSU like feel,
Well,
and
it has the eye of the tiger, but not the same eye, and it's black and gold. It is not purple and gold. And I did that on purpose because there are people all over the country that love the music of Eye of the Tiger and
correct.
Rocky. And what were his colors? They were black and gold.
There it is.
So the reason I came up, I wasn't looking to name something Eye of the Tiger, but when you look at my cigar without the band, there's these diamond eyes. I said, man, there's two eyes looking at you. So that's when I came up with Eye of the Tiger. It was just as a result of how the cigar came out after we collaborated, I called it Eye of the Tiger. But it wasn't because of LSU,
So,
because
so
I can't do that because then they sue me
copyright
and all that good
infringement.
stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was crazy though, because when I was first introduced to the cigars itself, most people know that I'm from Ohio and I'm a huge Buckeyes fan. And when I tried that
Everybody
cigar,
has burdens to bear.
I want to say Joe Burrow, you
Good
know,
old
he he
Joe.
he ditched us, the Buckeyes, played with us for a little bit. We got him trained up and we got him as good as he could be to go to
Well,
LSU and
I
helped you
feel
guys
like
win a
y'all let him.
championship.
He did. He did. Most definitely did. But
Yes.
y'all didn't start him. He had to go where he
Yeah.
could showcase his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And it all worked out for him. So he went from being an LSU.
so this is purple and gold.
Yes.
My Eye of the Tiger is black and gold. So
so
I
so
did
no
that
hard
so that
feelings.
people would. That's right. So people wouldn't have any. Oh well, that's just an LSU fan. Well, it's not. I go back. I go back to Rocky, right?
Yes,
In the
right.
Eye of the Tiger time period. So
Nice, nice. But Joe Burrow does smoke cigars as well too.
yeah,
So in my own mind, I was making those parallels where there were no
I see.
parallels. There were no
No,
parallels there. Yeah, the Rocky thing. Like I love it. I love it. Now, with you having your core line itself, do you plan on actually expanding out and doing any new cigars?
I do. I do have a few on the drawing board right now. We'll probably expand my line at least by 2 or 3 more cigars, hopefully in the next year or so.
Mhm.
COVID really, I had plans to come out with new cigars right when COVID hit.
Mm.
And COVID kind of put a damp on uh, my expansion plans. And of course, the government was doing all their stuff, and the Cigar Rights of America were doing a lot of good trying to make sure that we could still stay in business. But they
Correct.
were trying to stop us from coming out with new cigars. I don't
Oh
know if you
wow.
recall that. Yeah, so everything got on pause, and now that we're coming through on the other side of COVID, I am I do have a couple ideas on what I want to come out with. In fact, as a matter of fact, sticking with my Cajun background, I'm going to come out with something called a gumbo series, a
Ooh.
dark roux and a light roux, and you know, um, something that has is fairly mild for some
Yeah.
folks, and then something that may be a little more spicy for others.
Nice. Nice. Actually, that's a really unique concept. And once again, it's not just marketing. Like it actually has meaning to you and your
Right.
culture and your life.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
that is awesome. Yeah, because I don't think I've ever heard of a line like that. I love it, and don't nobody else take that. That's Kenny's.
Hey, well, I don't think anybody else plans to identify themselves with the Cajun culture like I do. The Cajun cigar has a fleur de lis on it because that's part of the Cajun culture. I don't know
Okay.
if you can see it here
Yes.
on the leaf, see on the band itself. It has fleur de lis on it, and again, that is there's a lot of meaning to the fleur de lis. We have our French heritage culture down here, and it also is a cross, uh, and it has the 3 points and so forth. So it has little faith built into it, a little culture built into it, and it's a beautiful symbol. We just recently had a big golf tournament down here called the Zurich, and the Zurich's trophy is a big crystal fleur-de-lis. It's beautiful. So it's just part of our culture down here to have those things. It doesn't mean that there aren't other stars or whatever. One
Yes.
day I may come out with a stars and stripes kind of thing too. Because I am, as you can see in the background, I have flags flying at my house. I am an American. I think
Yes.
we're all Americans. In fact, I'm a big believer that we're all Homo sapiens.
Correct.
We're not white, we're not black, we're not red, we're all the human race. Our pigment is darker or different colors than others, but we're all the human race.
Correct.
And to me, that's what brings us together with cigars. That's what brings us together to accomplish great things. We don't look at stereotypes. We look at who people are and what they can do. And that's the same thing with cigars. Cigars are something that you can take anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours with somebody and just get to know somebody. You can't do that. I'm not a cigarette smoker, never have been. That's a 3-minute in and out, 2-minute, and you're done. So there's no relationship building there.
Yeah.
And you're inhaling it into your lungs with all those cautions. This right here, you're not doing all that. So
Correct. And it's premium tobacco as well too, hand rolled, no additives put to it. So let me ask you really quick, Kenny. You're from Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Is your parents and grandparents also from Louisiana too?
Yes. So,
wow.
I have lived all over South Louisiana and spent summers in all over South Louisiana. Grew up in the country, moved to New Orleans, actually went to high school in New Orleans. And as we say down here, we in Louisiana, we have, you have the Cajun dialect, and then you have the New Orleans dialect, which is a yat. Where you at? Over there in the corner, kind of almost sounds like the Bronx in New York up there, And then Cajun is a broken English mixed with Ebonics, actually.
Okay.
It's very, everybody has seen the show, Shoot 'em, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And so we say, Shaq, come on and pass a good time. And when we say y'all, that's one person. When we say all y'all, that's everybody. And y'all can be 3 or 4 people to, the entire group. So yeah.
So it's crazy.
I am a South Louisiana fella.
I've never really used the word y'all as much as I use it now, because right now we're stationed here in South Carolina, Beaufort, South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
And y'all has become a part of my vocabulary. I don't say you all anymore. It's y'all, because you all is y'all.
Yeah. And there's also people from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, say Ewans, or use guys. It's a little different,
yes.
So yeah, I have friends all over the country, and sometimes I forget that they don't quite understand y'all and fixing to go and
fixing
all that
to
stuff.
Go.
Like,
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't get our dialect all that well sometimes.
Oh, bless your heart.
Bless your little pea-picking heart.
So this is all great stuff. Now, did you hear that PCA is actually going to be in New Orleans next year?
Oh, I missed that. I didn't see that announcement.
Yeah,
that's great.
I want to say it's in April, towards the end of April, probably April 11th or something like that. I have to go back and take a look. But they're actually going to be in New Orleans, and I plan on actually being there. So I would love to meet up with you.
We'll hook up.
Yes. That'd be great. So I think that we've covered your sticks in your line. Yeah. We've covered your future sticks.
Couple of them anyway.
Right? You know what would be awesome is if you had a Lancero. I'm a Lancero man. I know that, you either take it or leave it. I think that you get a lot more flavor because it's more of the binder and the wrapper versus the filler. And that's why you get a lot more flavor out of it.
So what length Lancero do you like? and how thick of a Lancero, because I've seen them
Correct.
be super thin to, you know, a lot thicker. So
Pro-
what
probably
gauge and what length?
probably about a 5 by 52. A 5 by 60 is probably a little bit too long. Um, but that's just me.
So a 60, that's a pretty good size gauge. You're
Mhm.
talking, I mean, most Lanceros I thought would be more in the 36 range gauge in 5 to 7 inches.
Yeah. So
So if
yeah,
you like a,
that's I do like a little bit longer of a smoke. I mean, but
yeah,
once again, it's still going to smoke about the same depending on how hard you're inhaling, that you're pulling and stuff like that on the stick. Um,
yeah,
for me, I can sit there for uh, 3 hours and smoke a cigar. I know that's kind of
yeah.
long, but if I'm watching a game or something like that, like it's
Well,
perfect time.
and when I created my cigars, the
Mhm.
Cajun and the Strata to begin with, I did them based on 9 holes of golf.
There
You
it is.
smoke one cigar for 9 holes and the other cigar for 9 holes, and then you have the Eye of the Tiger for a little victory cigar afterwards.
I love. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of PTSD with Joe Burrow again. Eye of the Tiger. Once again, in my mind. It's just in my mind.
Hey,
Anyway,
I I wouldn't mind if he were to be a promoter of my cigars. There's no question.
right? I mean, because
I
now
mean, he
he's
went to the Bengals. He went from the LSU Tiger Bengals to the Cincinnati Bengals. You know, so I
correct.
guess if I was really trying to get him, I could make it orange and black instead of black and gold.
And he is a cigar smoker. You know that because he did it during the championship. Anyway, and he
Mhm.
still smokes cigars. He's from what I've seen, because I don't know him personally or anything like that. I'm
Right,
actually
right.
a huge fan of his because he does put in the work, he puts in the effort, and he's a tremendous athlete. Um, he just
Right.
needs to stay healthy. You know, that's the biggest thing
And
right
needs a
now.
good offensive line.
Correct, correct. Oh man! So thank you very much for your time. Is there anything else that you want to cover or talk about? Um,
Well, one of the things that people can reach out. I have a website. It's khccigars.com, and they can order on there. I sell everything by the bundle. Just so I don't have boxes. I only have bundles. I didn't invest in boxes yet because that was a time and space thing that I would have to keep up with. And my bundles are 25. You know, I had the Tiger, Cajun, and Strata. So I have those available. I have something called Lucky 21 on my website. So if you want to try them, there's 7 of each, and you get a 10% discount for ordering the Lucky 21 bundle. So please check it out at khccigars.com and order away.
There it is. Order away. Like I said, make sure that you visit his website. You go ahead and order it. I mean, give it a try, give it a taste. I personally, I liked it. But everyone's palate's different, so we will say that as well too. But I
Oh yeah,
guarantee you, there's going to be a cigar that you'll enjoy. And
yeah.
whoever's watching this, if you make a comment, um, you'll definitely be entered into the drawing, and hopefully you'll be a lucky winner. Make sure you follow Kenny New. You follow Kaneux Hattak Company's Facebook, Instagram, and then yeah, we'll see if you win that sample pack. But if you don't have anything else that you'd like to share, oh, actually, I do
I
have.
just
Go
okay.
ahead.
Ed. I was just gonna say I just love the cigar community. We started
Mhm.
talking about that earlier, and it is it. One of the gentlemen that introduced Trey and I together, he's younger than some of my children, and yet he comes over and we hang out, and he's just wonderful to hang out with. And to me, it also crosses age groups as well as culture, and so if you're young and just starting out, try the Eye of the Tiger, then the Strata, and if you like a more full-bodied cigar, then the Cajun is for you.
There it is. There it is. And the group that Kenny's talking about is People of the Leaf. That is an online community that we're blessed to be a part of. Matt, he's doing a phenomenal job of cultivating that connectivity across, different states. Like it's a beautiful thing. Um, but yeah, yeah, this cigar culture, it's phenomenal, man. I can't say enough. I mean, that's the reason why I do what I do, is to help spread the information, um, and share what we enjoy. Like, I mean, you're in this and doing this. I understand it's a business and everything, at the end of the
Right.
day, but you're doing it because you enjoy the culture, and you wanted to create a cigar that you enjoy and that that other people enjoy as well too. So my hat's off to you. Actually, I'm gonna keep my hat on.
Thank
I
you.
need a haircut,
Thank you.
but my hat's off to you because you're providing a great service to the community. So thank you, Kenny.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And
And you
on
had
that,
one other thing you wanted to ask.
oh yes, that's what it was. See, I got sidetracked. It's my adult
Yeah.
ADHD. Um, Beignets, love them or hate them?
Ah, love them.
Yes.
I'm a sugarholic. I'm a sugarholic. I have diabetes, so I have to watch how much sugar intake I take now.
Okay.
But I love sugar beignets. I grew up, my mom cooked beignets, cinnamon rolls. I mean, just cakes,
Yes.
just everything. So, yeah, anything powdered sugar and sweet dough that's fried, méchant, as we say, sauce c'est bon. It's so good down here.
Wait, can you repeat that again?
Sauce c'est bon.
Sauce
And it's
bon.
just like sauce bon, and it's just like bon temps roulé, let the good times roll, down
Mhm.
here. So we love our food, we love having a good time, and it's just we open our arms to friends and family and friends of friends. So I'm looking forward to seeing you next year in New Orleans.
Yes, sir. Hopefully, we can definitely make that happen. I'm looking forward to it as well. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and say goodbye to all the viewers out there. Make sure you visit his website, which is down below. And remember to keep smoking, keep enjoying, and keep learning, because we're all students of the
We
leaf.
are.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye bye.